Hello, here we go. Here we go. It is Wednesday, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It is time for another seminar with your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. Gang, let's get started here quick. Let's just get going. Everybody's jumping on already. So we got a plenty audience. So we're going to get going. Those of you that are late, you need to understand we start at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time every day. This is the third year. So we should know what time to start. Sometimes you guys show up late and I have to start late, but we're going. Gang, first of all, I want to thank everybody that joined that Zoom call last night. That was incredible. We had a really good time, got to talk about a lot of cool stuff and how the website works. And I think a lot of people walked away with a lot better understanding of how the website works and how important it is for all of us to participate, to change the whole culture of sport fishing in Southern California. It's time to start sharing all our information. We want to succeed on this fishing thing. We all need to work together as a team and be united, like they do on the East Coast and they do in Texas and places like that, where they share information all the time. And that's what we're trying to do, is change the culture out here on the West Coast. And those of you that don't agree with it, fine. Go do what you do on your other places. You don't need to share your neg over here. We're only sharing positive. So lots of positive was shared last night. And once again, thank you for all the people that joined us. And if you did not join us, it's probably because you had something going on, but we will do it again. I talked to my social media director. We will definitely do that Zoom call again, probably right in the beginning of the year, just to get everybody focused and headed in the right direction. But gang, this is our third year doing these shows Monday through Friday. Try to do them 5 days a week. Sometimes I'm out fishing and I don't get any connection, but most of the time I'm here for you. We have a different day every week sponsored by some cool company, and Wednesdays are always sponsored by Okuma and Fish Labs. And today we're talking about a Fish Lab product, and we'll get into it in a little bit. But Wednesdays are Fish Labs and Okuma. They're both owned by the same company, and we'll talk about a really cool product here in a few minutes. But I want to reach out to everybody. I've been doing this, like I said, now for 3 years. I need all of you to help me. And if you can send me your suggestions at yoursaltwaterguide@yahoo.com, yoursaltwaterguide@yahoo.com, and let me know what you want me to talk about. Let me know what kind of seminar you want to see, what kind you want to hear. I know we're touching a lot of people because of the amount of views we get every day across all social media. But I just want to make sure I'm talking about the things you want to talk about. And listen, if I do talk about something that you send me an email about, we will send you a free t-shirt, Your Saltwater Guide. We will send you a free t-shirt right away if we use what you suggest. And so think about what you want to hear about. Let me know. Send those emails to me at yoursaltwaterguide@yahoo.com, and we'll be more than happy to check them, read them, and then we'll figure that out. Also, Kelly came up with a cool suggestion, and we're going to start trying this on Fridays, and we'll kick it off this Friday. We're going to have you guys call. We're going to have you call in. You're going to call in and you're going to ask questions, and we're going to take your questions live. So if you want to be a participant of that on Fridays from now on, Fridays are going to be Free Flow Friday like they always are, but it's going to be a question and answer with call-ins. My phone number is all over every bathroom in America, so I'm not worried about giving out my phone number. I beg for the calls. I want you all to call me and tell me what you think, but Fridays are going to be call-in Friday from now on. We'll spend the 15, 20 minutes on Fridays talking to you personally and answering your questions, as long as you're cool. If you want to call in and be a potato head, there's probably a pretty good chance we won't listen to you, but we're going to do call-ins on Friday. If you don't have my phone number, it's pretty easy to find. We're not going to put it out right now. We'll talk about it again tomorrow, but Friday's going to be call-in Friday from now on, where you call in and we talk about whatever you want to talk about. And then send those emails, and if I talk about what you're asking to know about, we'll give you a free t-shirt, all right? So, gang, today we're going to talk about what's going on out in the water. But look, These are the most unbelievable lure ever made. These things catch everything, and they've caught a phenomenal amount of bluefin this year. But this is the Carnata slow pitch jig. And this thing right now is knocking the crap out of the rockfish, because we're in the cold water time now, and it's rockfish, rockfish, rockfish. Yeah, there's some bluefin out there still. They're roaming around. They haven't been located for a few days. They'll jump back up, I'm sure. But these Carnata slow pitch jigs by Fish Labs are incredible. I don't know if you're seeing them. The coloration on them, everything about them just begs for a fish to eat it. They're jumping all over these. We're catching lots of reds on these. This one's the 8.5 ounce or 8.83 ounce. I would go with this one, or maybe the one size under it. You can go on to the Fish Lab website, go to fishlab.com and check out the Carnata slow pitch jig. And the one this size or a little bit smaller is going to be perfect for fishing that 400 to 600 foot of water because of the depth. You need something that's going to get you down there quick. These things are on fire for rockfish, and then you know what they've been doing for the bluefin. And the really unique thing about these, they already come rigged, ready to go. You don't have to spend a couple of hours re-rigging it, going to the tackle shop, buying all the assist hooks and all those things. This thing's already rigged up, which a lot of the other companies, their type of lures like this aren't ready to go. These were made to catch that bluefin, and these were made to catch rockfish, and they're ready to go. That's the really cool thing about it. So go to Fish Lab, fishlabtackle.com, fishlabtackle.com. Check out the Carnata slow pitch jig and see what you think, and pick out the colors you want to get. This chrome colored one seems to be working very, very well, but I talked about the red crab color one earlier in the season. Those things were working phenomenal. Gang, let's talk about what's going on out here in Southern California right now. We had a phenomenal amount of weather come through last couple of weeks. And rain and wind and cold. Very, very cold. Like the biggest cold front that we've seen on the West Coast in a very, very long time. And what that did was it dropped that water temperature on the outside. In some places, it dropped it as much as 10 degrees. It went from 65 to 55. Went from 67 to 57. Way out there where that bluefin's been wandering around. Does that mean the bluefin are gone? No, it doesn't mean they're gone, but it means that they are in shock right now. They haven't felt anything like that since they got here in 2015. So they're in shock. Are they going to leave? I'm not sure. We don't know. We all talked about this in the years past, that what's it going to take to make them leave? A giant climate temperature change. And it happened. It got real cold real fast. It didn't gradually get cold. It got cold real fast, in that northwest wind that was coming out from Alaska that brought all the rain and the snow down into Southern California. Well, that put a chill on the water that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. That being said, it may be time to start learning how to fish for the fish that live in Southern California, like I've been preaching for a long time. Pre-2015, before El Nino came and changed the whole culture of fishing in Southern California, fishing was very, very difficult for people who did not know how to fish. It wasn't as easy as it was this year to go out, find a kelp patty and throw a bait over the side and catch a Dorado, or find some breaking bluefin and throw one of these slow pitch Carnata jigs in the water and catch a bluefin. You had to really understand the whole thing of fishing and read current and read conditions. And that's what we talk about on our website all the time. And I talk about on these shows all the time, is it's time to learn how to fish for what lives in Southern California. And my good friend John Stanley was talking about it yesterday on the Zoom call. What our website has done is it's taught people how to catch fish winter, spring, summer, or fall. It's time to learn the spots. And as you look at what's going on in Southern California with the temperature drop, but the water is very, very clean. It's very clean in a lot of places, which bodes very well for the different types of fish that live in Southern California year round. Your sheephead, your sargo, your calico bass, your sand bass, and all the different types of fish that live on all the different reefs up and down the coast. Now, this reef system was built by a bunch of biologists, a bunch of fishermen, and a bunch of fish and wildlife experts back in the day when they were allowed to build artificial reefs along the Southern California coast. They were built for us so that we can go fishing winter, spring, summer, or fall. That is what my website focuses on. Like I always say, anybody can go out and catch a bluefin. Anybody can go out and catch a Dorado. Anybody can go out and catch a tuna. You just throw your line in the water, strip off some line, and when there's a volume of fish like there has been the last few years, it's pretty simple. But now it's time to start to look and figure out how to read conditions on the coast. Start to figure out how to catch that wintertime yellowtail that lives on the coast. Start to learn how to catch that white sea bass that lives on the coast. Those fish live here year-round. This is their house, Southern California. The water temperature in Southern California normally should be somewhere between 57 and 67 degrees. That's the normal temperature in Southern California. We've been very, very blessed since 2015 with that warm water current and the Dorado and the yellowtail and everything like that. But it's time to get back to basics, gang. It's time to start to learn how to fish for the fish that live here. This time of year is a very special time because we start to have this offshore flow, Santa Ana winds like you had yesterday and you're having a little bit today. And then when this quits blowing, like Saturday and Sunday, there's going to be no wind. The ocean's going to be flat like a lake. It's going to be spectacular. And that's when you go out and you start learning how to fish the pipes. Up and down the coast, there's a series of pipelines. They look like underwater breakwalls. They have a ton of fish on them. What's going on at Catalina right now, the bonita bite. When I hear people go, oh, bonita, I don't really like bonita. Well, that's because you suck. That's because you don't know anything about fishing. Bonita are a great fish, fun to catch, excellent to eat, great wintertime fishery. In the past, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, the industry made a living catching bonita during the winter time. When we were out rockfish fishing, or rock cod fishing, we called it back then, we would find those big schools of that bigger bonita, that 8 to 12 pound fish out there on the rock cod grounds. And that's when you would find that. And then the half day boats would start trolling around with their feathers and start catching that stuff. And those of you that don't want to learn how to fish the artificial reefs and you just want to start catching tuna and you love just tuna fishing, well, then start trolling around in 100 fathoms, 600 feet of water. Start trolling around from Redondo Beach to the Mexican border in 100 fathoms outside your harbors and start looking for those big bonita. They don't have much of a sign. They don't really show a lot. You don't see big foamers of them, but there's these giant rogue schools of this big bonita that could be right out in your backyard. But most people only want to catch tuna, Dorado, and yellowfin and yellowtail. And then when that quits biting, they don't know what to do. They start sucking their thumb and they put their boat up for sale, or they don't put their boat in the water and they don't fish all winter long, which is sad. We have lobsters to fish for. You can go bonita fishing. You can go fish the artificial reefs, and then you can go finish the afternoon off with lobsters because, hey, gang, it's going to start getting dark at 4:30 here, just like it does every year when we do this silly time change. And if it's getting dark at 4:30, you can get your hoop nets in the water at 4 o'clock. You can hoop net till 7:30 and be back at home at a decent hour and go back to that JOB the next morning. This is my favorite time of year in Southern California. When I was up there running sport boats, when I was up there fishing on private boats, I love this time of year. It's super easy if you know technique to catch fish this time of year because every single spot along the Southern California coast right now is marked. Like John was talking about yesterday, and I had kind of forgotten. I didn't talk about that yet this year. All the spots are marked. You say, with what? With the lobster traps, gang. All those lobster traps, those lobstermen, they're not throwing their traps out in the mud. They're not throwing them out in sandy areas. They're throwing them around hard bottoms and around rocks and around kelp. All that stuff matters. Yes, you can get access to thousands of spots on my website, but there's a plethora of spots I don't cover on my website that you can go and fill your GPS up. The next couple weeks would be a good time to go out on your boat, spend the day just plugging spots in. Try not to, I know it's going to be hard to not fish, but if you can run south an hour, turn around and drive back up in 45 feet of water or 50 feet of water and look with your binoculars and start picking off those lobster traps and then driving over them and driving around them with your fish finding apparatus on, start marking all these rocks and all these hard bottoms, gang. It's going to help you tremendously. Now with the closure that we just had, it's going to go on till April 1st. We're going to have figure out stuff to do in March. We're going to want to learn how to fish all these little artificial reefs, all these little hard bottoms, all these rock piles. And it's time to learn how to do all that. Now, at our website, we have a whole series on how to fish the artificial reefs, how to chum, how to do all that. This is the time of year for you to learn how to do all that, gang. This is what this time of year is set up for. And if you learn how to fish these artificial reefs and these hard bottoms and these rocks, when the tuna come back and the Dorado come back and all that stuff comes back, you are going to be the master out there. If you had a hard time the last couple of years putting together anything like that, if you can go in there and start mastering catching sargo and sheephead and calico bass and sand bass on these little rocks, then you're going to be shocked at how easy it is to catch that Dorado and that bluefin and that yellowfin. Because those three fish are really stupid. And all you got to do is get a bait in front of them. But these fish that live on these rocks up and down the coast, these big sheephead and these big sargo and all the other stuff, they take talent. They take finesse. They take bait presentation to a different level. They take anchoring the boat to a different level. And all those things matter, gang. You don't want to be stuck not fishing. You're going to still make your boat payment. You're still going to make your insurance payment. You're still going to pay your storage or your dock or whatever all winter long. Why don't you enjoy your boat? Go to my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com. Check out all the lobster videos, gang. I tell you exactly how to be successful lobster fishing. Not only do I show you exactly how to rig your hoops, but I show you where to go and how to do it. And if you start to get into our website and delve into it deep and get into the fish reports, that's the goal. That's the magic there, because we're changing the culture. We're starting to share. Not only can you see what they caught, but they're telling you where they caught it, how they caught it, and they're interacting with you. So you can go on there and check out the fish report and go, oh my God, Justin Botrell went to the 105 sculpin fishing, and he knocked the hell out of them. But the 105, that's a big area. Oh, but wait, there's a reply line on there. Click the reply, send Justin a message. Justin calls you right back, gives you the exact numbers. Gang, there's no other website where you can do all that. There's nobody else that's helping you like us. All our members are just like me. We're all willing to help and share all our information. One thing I always say is an informational-based website's kind of worthless if you don't have any information. Well, you're going to have plenty, and you do have plenty, and you always will have plenty over on my website. As long as I'm alive, I will make sure that the information's real, honest, comes straight out of my mouth. My phone number, like I said, is plastered everywhere. Go to another website and try to call the owner of that website. Give them a call and let me know. If you call me, I'll answer, I promise. Text me, I'll answer. I'll help anybody at any time, all the time. Gang, that's what I got for you today. Don't forget, try to send your questions to yoursaltwaterguide@yahoo.com. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And let's blow Kelly's mind on Friday. Let's all call. If you don't know my number, email me. I'll send you my number. But my number's pretty much everywhere. It's hard to not see my number. It's hard to not see me. And I'm going to leave you with this last thing. Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival, gang, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be a blast. I am super excited. Kelly and I will be at the booth the whole time, all 4 days. We're going to be there, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th of March. Gang, this thing's selling out quick. I talked to Bill DePriest the other day. He was blown away at the pre-sale tickets already. You do not want to miss this. I promise you, I will not let you down. My seminars are going to be hilarious. I promise you, you're going to laugh, and you may even learn something. And let's pray that there's some hecklers there, because that even makes it more fun when I can make the hecklers cry right in front of you. So let's see what happens, gang. Try to get your tickets. Go to PacificCoastSportFishing.com and order up your tickets and get them sooner than later. I don't want you to not be there. If you're thinking about being there, purchase your tickets now. Don't wait, because we can only put so many people at the Orange County Fairgrounds. We're right in the middle of the Orange County Fairgrounds. So those of you in San Diego, it's halfway to LA. Those of you in LA, it's halfway to San Diego. It's the best place to have a show on earth. As far as Southern California goes, those of you coming in from back east and want to come to this phenomenal show and see all the cool vendors and see Captain Dave Hansen, Orange County Airport's 5 minutes from the fairgrounds. You can fly right into Orange County, get an Airbnb, and check it out and be there. It's going to be phenomenal. It is going to be, I have no idea what beer costs. I haven't had a drink in 35 years. That's like the least of my worries, is how much beer costs. That's not what I go there for. I go there to see everybody and have fun and smile, laugh, and have a good time. Yep, sorry, I'm sober. I'm a quitter. I'm a quitter, 35 years. All right, gang. I will see you tomorrow. We'll have another great show. Send us some emails. Let us know what you want to talk about. Call in Friday. It's going to be epic. See ya.